like to introduce a very special guest on a ringside seat with Tassie, Blair the Flair Cobbs. Woo!
Woo!
Mate, it was so awesome to get to know you at the WC convention in Hamburg. We hanged out, me, you, and Bud for a few days, and as I said, man, you're one of the most talked about, flashiest personality guys in boxing. And yeah, it's just an honor to have you here today. And how you been, man? How's the start to the 2025?
It's pretty good. Just waiting on getting that specific call, So we're trying to work things out with Don King to make things happen.
Good, good. That's great, mate. And obviously, yeah, at the WC convention, you was awarded a belt. Was it the People's Champ? What was it, the title?
The People's Champion belt.
Yeah, which that was awesome. It was a great convention. It was my first convention. It was a really good experience. I enjoyed it.
Absolutely. It was my first WBC convention and my
Yeah.
second convention I ever been to. And it
Yeah.
was it was a beautiful experience.
Well, 226. I'm putting into having in Sydney, Australia. So it's going to be good down there. I've been talking to Mauricio, and I'm in the process of doing all the things you need to do to get it over the line, and hopefully Sydney, Australia, 226 would be great.
Absolutely. That'd be great. I can't wait to be a part of it.
That's it, my friend. So let's tell the viewers in Australia, let's tell anyone that's watching worldwide, obviously, because everyone tunes into this. Tell us a bit about like your upbringing, first, before we get into the boxing part.
Okay, well, I'm born in Philadelphia, um, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in the U.S. Is known to be a very big fight city. I was born there, but I was also raised in many different places. Um, my father was moving around a lot. My mother was moving around a lot, and when my mother wasn't able to take care of me and my sister, we moved with her father. Um, she she um she ended up passing away, which was sad. And then my father ended up going on a run at one point where he like, he was on the FBI most wanted list.
What?
So
Really?
apparently he was like some kingpin drug dealer. I had no idea at the time,
Wow.
And so what ends up happening, we fled to Mexico. And while I was in Mexico as a teenager, I was trying to just figure out life. And at that time, there was no life. There was no beginning, there was no middle, and there was no end. I have no past and I have no future. So at that particular time, when I was in that real troubled time where like I'm trying to find my place and I don't have any place, I found the boxing gym. That was what I considered the most reckless thing I could possibly get into. And that was it. I ended up fighting there, and I like my first day of my first day in a boxing gym, I sparred. And after 2 weeks of training, I fought, and I just continued to fight until until I moved to America, until I finally moved back to America. And then when I first moved to America, I was in New York for a little bit, and I blew up pretty fast in New York. And then shortly after that, I came to Philadelphia, and I was pretty much stuck in Philly for quite a while before leaving there and coming to Vegas to successfully launch my professional career.
Wow, that's definitely a story, man. So like you started off fighting in Mexico. A lot of your amateur fights were there, fighting against Mexicans. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Like this is the thing, and because of that, right? I learned how to fight before I learned how to box.
Yeah, of course.
Because of the Mexican heritage, Mexican fighting in Mexico, learning how to fight in Mexico. I learned how to fight long before I learned how to actually box and bring things together with more technical skill. And then I learned all the flashy technical skills in Philadelphia, and I learned how to
Mm.
be flamboyant and outgoing, and learn how to be the true star performer in Las Vegas. It's very interesting how I came about to bring me to this place where I can call myself the most excited man in boxing.
100%. Because in Philly's known for like I mean, legends like Mildred Taylor, who was one of my favourite boxers, and Bernard Hopkins, like known for sort of being very, I guess, rough and tough, Philly style, aggressive. But you're sort of more of a, I think you're more of a boxer. You know, you're more fluent, and so I guess you've been able to take the Mexico, the Philly style, now Vegas, and put it into a total package, which is Blair the Flair.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a very interesting road I'm living, and I'm walking my interesting path I'm walking, and I'm just enjoying the time as it go.
All right. So, how many amateur fights did you have all up?
Well, I don't know. I had like close to like 50, if not a little over 50 amateur fights in Mexico. They were mostly just brawls,
Yeah.
just like knockout brawls. Like you finish them when
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I knocked out quite a few guys there, and just like death matches, and I pretty much won all my fights at that time,
Yeah.
you know. And then like came back to America to try to figure out how to gauge myself in the amateur world of boxing in America, which was kind of weird because I wasn't really used to that, you know.
Yeah.
It's not really about who's kicking the most ass, it's about points and how to get more points and things like
That's
that. So
right.
and I learned quite early that it took a whole lot. It takes a whole lot of resources to develop a real amateur fighter.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a totally different style, mate. As I said, like the the point system and the way the judges, sort of what they sort of look at on in scoring, it's very different. I mean, yeah. So you would have had to adjust a lot to that, definitely. So, what year did you turn pro?
Well, I turned pro around I think 2012,
Yep.
something like
Yep.
that.
Yep.
I turned pro at the right age. I just had a issue with getting fights.
Mm.
In Philadelphia, it's kind of a doggy dog world, and there's
Yeah.
very little to no resources
Yeah.
at all. Like,
Yeah.
so you kind of like just out there just by yourself. And most great fighters don't actually make it out of there. I was the most, let's say, the most, um, like I had the most ability. I was the most athletic, the most God gifted ability fighter to come out of Philadelphia and probably in years. You know what I mean? Or just in general.
Yeah.
Because people like me only come around every once in a blue moon. And it's special if you see us in our prime and successful.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you don't really get to see us. Something happens. There's always something.
Yeah.
Like let's say Aaron Pryor, you never really got to see the best of Aaron Pryor because great fighters never chose to fight him. I mean, he beat everybody before he can even get him in the ring. Like Sugar Ray
Yeah.
Leonard, he beat the crap out of him in training camp. Why would he ever fight him? He beat the crap
He,
out of Tommy Hearns in the
he
amateurs. He
yeah,
would
he
never
did. He
fight him.
beat Tommy. Yeah, he did. Yep.
So
Yep.
things like that happen, but you're lucky if you end up finding that one freaking nature fighter that really inspires the the just the imagination
Yeah.
of like what is possible. Manny Pacquiao in recent years is that guy. I would even say maybe anyway is maybe that guy. He
Yeah.
comes around
Yeah.
every once in a while.
100%. I agree. I agree totally. So, moving up. So, your early fights were whereabouts? Were they in Vegas, or were they in Philly, or where were they early?
Well, I had a couple fights in Philadelphia, North Carolina. Then I went inactive for 3 years trying to just begging for a fight. You know what I mean? The prime of my youth, and no one would dare touch me, let alone even spar me at the time. And it just gotten to such a degree where it was incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
Um, and most people would say, no, this, most people would give up in those particular times. 3 years go by without a fight, and I never made not one dime from boxing. So it was a very tough period of time before finally making it out to Vegas and finding my first real manager to to get me exactly where I need to be, and then locking in on my first promotional company, which is Golden Boy Promotions, and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, in this game, you need the right representation, as you know. It's very hard to do it alone. That's why promoters, managers, that's why they're in the job, because we need to someone to work behind the scenes. Like, it's hard enough to box, as you know. You need to focus on the boxing, the training, without all the business side of things. So that's why, yeah, and also too, inactivity kills fighters. So that 3 years would have, I mean, I always tell people you've got to be active, and it's so hard. So that would have been hard. So you've had the 3 years off. Then did you just sort of go on a bit of a roll and sort of fight a bit more regularly?
Yeah, once I got on the roll, it was just like downhill from there. I
Yep.
was able to just kill it,
Yep.
until like inactivity again comes throughout the COVID situation, and then like, it's like this when you don't have much going on and it's been a while already, you're already strapped with cash. You're just trying to get something going, just some financial power going, and to even fund a good
Yeah.
training camp.
Yeah.
So then what ends up happening, I end up taking a last minute fight against Rocha, just to get things going, blow it up, promote it, and then of course it didn't go the right way,
Yeah.
obviously, because it was proof the right, like literally 3 months after I fought Maurice Hooker.
Yeah. It was a good
Long
win.
before the year, yeah, long before the year ended and my contract with Golden Boy ended, I fought Maurice Hooker with the promise that I'll end up fighting Virgil Ortiz.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, fine, I'll fight Maurice Hooker, and it didn't go the way they expected. They thought I was done,
Yeah.
and I wasn't. I didn't just outbox Maurice Hooker, or just barely etch out in a majority decision. It was a complete annihilation, and it started very, very soon. Like the moment I threw a punch,
Mm.
down, then down two more times in the second round. Um and then things happened even crazier, because after that I was poised and disciplined enough to win every single round after that. That was pretty much the deciding factor that, like, Golden Boy just didn't want to deal with me. Because their biggest threat would be me fighting Virgil. They
Of
didn't
course.
want that. They
Yeah.
didn't expect that. They didn't expect me to win the way I did, and they didn't
Mm.
expect me to call them out on it. So when it happened, they didn't. They just closed their doors and shelved me for like a good 2 years. Now our
Right.
contract was already up, and we were looking at some new, like a new contract and new agreements, and try to get things going. But the thing is, they just didn't want to have me fight Virgil.
Yeah.
So they just decided to just go blank for a long time, and I had to get a lot of lawyers involved. They owe me some money, so we're trying to make sure that happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I had to, sure, as soon as I got like that release statement or whatever that was court mandated, I signed with Don King to make the Adrian Broner fight happen.
How did that come across with Don King? I mean, he's a legendary promoter. He just got an award at the Ring magazine the other day in London. He goes back to Ali, he goes back to Tyson, he goes back to Chavez. He's getting on a bit now. How did that come? I feel like you resurrected Don King's career. Like, how did that come about with Don King?
Well, it was very simple. They had one fight that I needed to, and like I dreamed about. I literally have like a vision board with very little things on it. And one of the things I have on it is Adrian Broner versus Blair the Flair, and so I wanted to make that happen no matter what. So I just, they had something, and and the great thing about Don King is that like I will be his number one guy, and we can do business, and all they have to do is just fight me with the best of the best, and I'll knock off Ennis, I'll knock off Ben, I'll knock off um pretty much all the title holders, Brian Norman and
Yeah,
whatever other guy. What's the
yeah.
guy at WBC? The Mario Barrios.
Broner
I'll
Barrios,
knock
yeah,
all of those. I can knock all those guys out consecutively if they gave me even the slightest chance.
yeah,
I'll domino and rip through all of them. You know, and it's just dealing with the politics right
yeah.
now, honestly.
Well, let's talk about the Adrian Broner fight. Adrian Broner is a great, great fighter. Four division champion. And he's, I think I liked him a bit better at the super featherweight lightweight limit. I think he was bloody unbelievable. I think but he, as he went up in weight, lifestyle things, obviously, I think, which happens to a lot of fighters. But great fighter though, great entertainer, great trash talker. How was the whole? I mean, I watched a lot of it. How was the whole press thing during it? How was the ride with Adrian, AB, about
uh,
Billy?
it was like a dream, man. Like it was everything I believed it would be. The only thing that it needed was probably a little bit more press, a little bit more push, and as far as the promotion. But it was everything that I expected. I expected the fight to end the way it did, and go the way it did. Um, and I'm just waiting on the next move, the next opportunity at this point. Adrian Broner is a tough fighter. Those exact shots, I guarantee you, would hit all of the top guys, and most of them, if not all of them, will not survive those types of shots. Ennis would not survive that shot. He will go down and probably stay down a few times, get hurt a few times, if not quit soon after that. Most of these fighters don't have the type of resilience that Adrian Broner has. He has an incredible steel chin, and and at that time period, I've never seen anyone that had a chin like Adrian Broner.
Do you think you've retired him?
I don't know. I hope not. I want him to continue on his quest to be great and come back in the state of boxing. The thing is, right? Like I like people don't really know this and they don't really think about this, but me and Adrian Broner is the same age. You know what I'm saying? The only and like tell you the truth, we probably wouldn't know a lot of fighters if I actually got a successful like start in boxing. Most of these fighters would probably be not around, or we never would have heard of like a Amir Khan or a lot of that stuff like that. We probably would never heard of them if I had got a successful start. They probably would have all been ruined by me by the time I got to them.
Wow. Yeah, well, that was a great victory. So, how did you feel after getting the win against a great former world champion? Was so one of the even though he's still probably he might not be sort of in the public eye like he was, but he's still very well known in boxing. How did it feel to get that victory in? And then tell me what is next? Like, how close are we to have something locked in? I mean, you're in this position now. Surely your team must be working towards something because you deserve a shot. Like you really do.
Absolutely. We're just trying to make things happen. Um, it's very hard to make these fights happen because they always try to figure some way out of it. The inactivity of like going in, going out of like retirement basically because I'm inactive so long. that plays a part in it. So I'm hoping that we can stay active with a lot of real good, credible fights,
Yeah.
and keep the show going and push these fighters into fighting me. I'm hoping that Turkey Al Sheik can force these fighters to see if they're great or not.
Yeah.
Because that's what I work towards making boxing great.
Yeah.
You know, boxing needs Blair the Flair. Why?
Oh,
Because Blair the Flair
understand.
is the show, is the charisma and the true dedication to the sport, and I can show anyone in the whole world that no matter where you are in life, no matter how down you might be, that it's still you still got a shot. You still got a chance.
No, that's a great message, and I mean, 100%. I tell a lot of my young boxers that, I mean, it doesn't matter where you come from, what upbringings, anything. If you want it bad enough, you'll get there. You succeed, but you just gotta. Enough is given to you. You got to work. Sometimes you got to go through pain. Got to go through all types of adversity. But if you want it, I really do believe that you'll be successful in anything in life, any sport, and especially in boxing.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the thing. Now, in recent years, since after the Floyd Mayweather thing, in recent years, that's been proven not to be true. You get what I'm saying? There's only one person that even like remotely makes that definition even remotely true, and that's Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah,
But after that, there was nothing, and everybody wants to be undefeated. Everybody
yeah, true.
wanted to follow this structure, and most people already had it long before they even started. You
Mm.
know, and so now it's we're coming back to this point where like somebody like me that will start with nothing and become something is like this is where boxing is supposed to be great.
Yeah,
I'm trying to make this dream a reality, instead of just because before it used to be true, but now it's not true. So now we have to make it true again.
yeah,
So I believe people like Turkey Al Sheik believes um that like this stuff should be possible. He wants to believe in the truth of what boxing can bring, inspiring the spirit of a human being, and that's why he loves the sport, and that's why Don King got into the sport in the first place. His first big fight was his first fighter was my great uncle Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying? So that just goes to show you,
wow.
if his first fighter was Muhammad Ali, and then his last fighter is gonna be Blair the Flair,
And you're
and
you're 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 related to Muhammad Ali.
yeah, but on my
Wow,
mother's side, and
wow, cool. Hey, well,
so
how do you get on with Nico Ali?
I see him all the time in the
He's,
gym. We
he's
we, we
good.
both train in the same gym and
He's a cool dude.
top.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
great guy. Wish nothing but the best for him, and we're just it's only fitting that he leaves out with another star performer that can talk it and walk it and give the crowd a full package, the full package, beginning, middle, and end. Most fighters don't do anything,
Nah, of
but
course.
they want the most. They want all the money, but they don't
Yeah.
really do the promoting. They don't do the interviews. They don't really give the people the true them, you know? So like, so you'll have like Shakur Stevenson. It's not necessarily the most flamboyant of fighters, you know what I mean? And then on top of that, his style is not very attractive at all,
Mm.
and then like he wants the most though.
Yeah.
And like me personally, I believe he deserves something,
Oh,
but
he's a beautiful boxer. He's very talented. But
he's a
yeah, I know what
beautiful
you mean.
boxer.
Yeah.
But I think that he needs to work harder than that.
Mm.
And it's not about him working hard in the gym because unfortunately, it's already been proven. Boxing is not a sport. It's entertainment.
Yeah.
You know why? Because we will have somebody like Logan Paul fight George blow. George nobody. You know what I mean?
And sell
And
pay-per-views. That's right.
sell pay-per-views. Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll fight a old ran down 60-year-old Mike Tyson, tired of everything. And really it's an exhibition, but they
Yeah.
call it a fight
Yeah, of
with
course.
14-ounce gloves
Yeah.
and promise to Mike Tyson not knock him out in the first round.
I
You
didn't.
know, it's
I refused to watch it. I didn't watch it. I'm a very old school boxing person. As a fighter, as a I'm just a very much an old school boxing person, and I didn't watch it. Everyone was coming to me. I say, look, it's not boxing. I don't want to talk about it. It's not legit. You can't. It's not even. I couldn't even get my head around that it was happening. So I didn't watch McGregor and Mayweather. I didn't watch
at least the McGregor and Mayweather fight
I know.
it was fair.
Yeah, but I
It
still
was
didn't watch
fair
it
in
because it
the
was a guy
sense
having his
that like
first professional boxing fight
yeah.
against and I didn't watch a Ngannou versus Tyson. I'm very much an old school boy, I can't say this young generation, all these TikTokers and YouTubers. I got no time for it, bro, at all.
Yeah, I just wish that things were a little bit better and like
Yeah, me too.
and people respected the sport a little bit more.
100%.
Um like now I don't really throw shade on Logan, you know what I mean? I mean not Logan, Jake.
Jake. Yeah.
It's just the problem is that like I hated the fact that like after he took that loss
Yeah, Fury's
to
brother.
Brandon Fury,
Tommy Fury.
Tommy Fury, yeah. And after taking that loss to Tommy Fury, I expected him to be back in the ring with another solid real fighter.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's
And
my point too.
cuz like now he's legit. And I gave him all the credit in the world. You know what I mean? To even be out there and taking his loss like he's supposed to, and actually taking that risk to actually be in a fight in a real fight with a real young fighter, and then he kind of reverted back to the
To
same BS. I didn't
the
really like that.
circus. Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah, I
look,
didn't
if
like
he
that
wants to
that
be
much.
a boxer, fight boxers, fight up and comers, fight guys that are ranked, or get the fuck out of the sport. Stop making it a
Yeah,
circus. Stop picking cage fighters, MMA fighters, wrestlers, old ex legends. I mean, you
they're
know,
celebrity fights,
I
and
heard he
like
wants. I heard he
that's
wants Larry.
cool.
I heard he wants Larry Holmes next. I mean, come on. I
Yeah.
mean, come on. Let's stop it, bro. Please, come on. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, he said
um,
Larry. Like, yeah,
he
George
still probably wouldn't
Foreman
get past
next.
Larry's jab. He's probably still. But hey, let's talk about your relationship with Bud Crawford. You hanged out in Vegas recently. How was that? I saw you both there, and um, how's your relationship with Bud?
Oh man, it's a great relationship. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, I learned a lot from him. He's a very smart fighter. He's got a lot of wisdom inside and outside the ring, and I don't mind just absorbing that. He said he didn't want to fight me and this and that he was he's down. He's in down and out of retire and getting into retirement pretty soon, and he deserves it. You
yeah,
know, if I'm able to make it worth his while, maybe we might be able to have a fight. But like right now, he's just only chasing the Canelo fight or just retirement. He's
yeah.
been in the game for a long time, and he pretty much did everything he needed to do
Oh,
in boxing. So I'm
unbelievable.
happy that
Two-time undisputed, four
yeah.
division champion, and yeah, well, he went over there. I spoke to him yesterday. He went over to. He didn't. He wasn't at the Ring Magazine things, but Canelo was there with Turkey, I think, for the first time, and someone must have said he flew straight over there, and he's there now. So maybe they're working. Maybe they're trying to do the business. So hopefully he gets that fight because he deserves it. He deserves that big payday, and I think he beats Canelo. I really do. I think he does a Ray Leonard Hagler. And I mean, our boxing team at Charlo was at 154, and he went the distance with Canelo. You can't talk about Charlo, I don't think, in Crawford's class. I think he can do it. Emir Khan was outboxing Canelo before he got knocked. I think Terrence can do it, man. Canelo's a legend, but he doesn't throw a lot of punches now. He sort of plods along, and I mean, the fact that he didn't want to fight Benavidez, and now he says I don't want to fight someone like Crawford because I don't want to have to be chasing someone. But I don't think Crawford actually. I think he just boxed. So he wouldn't run. I tell you, Bud's a dog. Bud's got that killer in him. So I wouldn't see Bud. I think I definitely do realistically. I'm not just saying it because I've built up a friendship with him. I actually do think he shocks the world. I really do.
Absolutely, absolutely. I don't really know how that fight goes. I just hope that something happens. I would really love the Bevo rematch with Canelo or just the fight with Benavidez, which everybody's hoping
Yeah,
that it happens.
don't think that
Did
happens.
Benavidez
Don't think it
did
happens, mate.
Benavidez fight recently, or did Benavidez fight?
No, he's about to fight soon. He's got that other good undefeated Morel. That's a good
Is that
fight.
is that is
Morel.
that
That's a tough
that next
fight.
week?
Yeah, it's very soon. Yeah.
Okay, all right,
I
I'll
think
be there.
if Bivol beats Benavidez and has the undisputed belts, I mean, sorry, if Bivol beats Betedev, I was at the first one. If Bivol does win the next one, Canelo probably could jump up to get a rematch and challenge for undisputed at light heavyweight. That's probably could happen as well. But I don't think he fights Ben. I think he had his chance against David Benavidez. I don't think he wants him, and for some reason. I mean, he will. I think Benavidez has moved on now to light heavyweight, and I think he moves up there. But I hope and Bud gets. I hope he gets that good paycheck before he retires, and I think he can definitely upset the Canelo train for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. It'd be whatever, however it goes. I hope things work out. It's just we need to have these big fights happen
Yeah, yeah,
to keep the sport alive.
yeah.
People like me needs to be taken seriously and pushed higher
hundred
and to
percent.
higher
Yeah,
if if we are to keep boxing alive. And that's just how it is. Like right now, like even in my weight class, right? In my weight class right now, I'm the only fighter that's had two world champions, and then not to mention an actual name on my resume. Nobody
yeah,
has that.
yeah,
Nobody actually has that. And then to have the nerve to have that on top of charisma and like actual like showmanship,
yeah.
it's just and then like you can't really ask for too much more to sell a fight. Now it's just like let's make these fights happen,
That's right.
but they're gonna find ways like, oh well, you're not ranked the way we want you to be ranked.
Well, are you hearing? It looks like it does look like Barrios could be fighting Conor Ben next. Have you heard that?
Cool.
It looks like Mario Barrios could be fighting Conor Ben.
Yeah, could be, but we'll see what happens.
That's what you deserve. Yeah. So where are you in the WC rankings at the moment?
I don't even know. Like it probably isn't very high. They said it like they needed just more consistent fights, which that takes time. You
So
know what I
going
mean?
to the conference, it didn't. So I was hoping that would have helped you go up a bit
Yeah, yeah. Well,
because you've done
maybe.
a great speech. I was there. It was awesome. It was inspirational. I was there when you spoke. On your behalf. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do the very best I can. Maybe it, maybe it's not about the speech now. It's just about consistency in
Yeah.
fights.
I think so.
Um, but like as far as my actual like background, I think I have enough good fights, enough good shows to actually put me up there. But hopefully we can get something going. A lot of times it's promotions,
Yeah, I know. It's all
it's a
the.
lot of other things that has nothing to do with what's in the ring
It's a lot
because
of moving parts. Yeah. People
yeah,
don't
yeah,
realize that. People don't realize the.
put them in the ring with me and see what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, people don't realize, and it's good for the viewers to hear that don't know the
Like,
actual
hey, Conor Ben wants
politics
to
and the
fight.
business. Yeah,
Yeah, like look, Conor Ben wants to fight. Okay, how about he fight me first?
yeah.
See how fast he gets to that belt.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, and this wants to fight. Okay, then fight me first and see what happens. I don't think nobody's ready for that roll of the dice when it comes to me. And the thing is, we need to expose that because there's something wrong with that, you know. Um, we need to make sure that these great fights are happening, just to keep this sport alive.
Yeah.
Um, because I don't know what happens after the heavyweights. You okay? Usyk, he unified all the titles, and what is he to do next?
He won't be around much longer. He's got nothing to prove, man. He's beaten everyone.
Yeah,
Dubois,
he's
Joshua
beating everyone.
Twaja. I wouldn't
He
be
could.
surprised if he retires in his next probably two more fights or one fight. He'll be out. He'll be out. He's made good money. That's right. So then the heavyweight division's a bit. We need to really, yeah,
So the heavyweight division would be dead,
yeah.
essentially.
Again, it was a
Um,
few years ago. It will be
yeah,
dead.
it would be dead again after Wilder. You know what I'm saying? And Anthony Joshua. So now the heavyweights is dead. Everybody's dead now. And the one weight class that's always been able to like keep boxing alive was the
Welterweight,
welterweights. With
always.
Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya, you know what I
Trinidad,
mean?
Leonard,
Ray
Hearns,
Leonard Hearns, all of
everyone.
these guys. There was
Everyone.
always somebody
Always.
in the welterweight division,
Very true.
which
Very
is
true.
like the pinnacle of average height and
Yeah.
average weight human being. Like that's kind of like where I see it. Because who the hell is 5? Well, who the hell is 6'9", man? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Giants. Crazy.
very few guys, man.
Very
Like,
few guys. Insane. Insane.
yeah, like that's a rarity, man. There's never been that many heavyweights in in,
Nah,
in
true.
boxing, period.
True.
And then you got the smaller guys, and it's like, man, that's only subjected to like certain countries, like Japan or something, that's got
That's
those
right.
those people that are that
Yeah.
small.
Oh, yeah.
So
Unbelievable.
it's
They're
not.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
Very good
they are
flyweights and
unbelievable,
bantamweights. Unbelievable.
but they're not like really on the world stage because of
Mm.
that.
No, that's right.
So hopefully we can get it all together.
Yeah. Well, I wish you the best, mate. You deserve it. I'm excited to hear about upcoming news regarding you, and I'll be looking forward to watching the journey. It was an honor to meet you in Hamburg and build a friendship with you. It was an honor to have you on a ringside seat with Tassie, and thanks so much for taking the time to be my guest today, Blair.
Thank you for having me on. It was wonderful meeting you. You're like one of the coolest guys there. You're even cooler than me. Like, so it was just like I like the moment you text me, the moment you contacted me to be on, I was in the moment you said it.
God
Like
bless.
I was in before you even got it out your mouth. Yes, I'm on. So
Yeah,
thank
no,
you
it
for
was
having
fun.
me on.
No,
And you can
God
check
bless.
me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Blair the Flair for more exciting content.
Hit him up, guys.
Official BlairTheFlair.com. Woo! The most exciting man in boxing.
See you soon, my friend. God bless.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right.